Let's have a look at the Xiaomi Mi 9 and the P30 Pro from Huawei. For me, the Xiaomi is an absolute value monster. You have the Snapdragon 855 in this one compared to the Kirin 980 in the Huawei P30 Pro. The Kirin 980 is not a new chip. It's been around for a while, and actually the speed test that I just did with these two showed that the Xiaomi gets a much bigger score than the Huawei. I really like the design on both of these phones. I couldn't really choose one or the other. Obviously the P30 Pro has this curved screen, which isn't going to be for everybody. The Xiaomi just having that flat screen. If you look at the very bottom bezels here, I don't know the exact measurements on these two, but it looks to my eye that the bottom bezel on the Huawei is just a little bit bigger than the bottom bezel on the Xiaomi. That comes with the design as well, because the P30 Pro has a curved screen there. And actually, the bottom feels a bit bigger, feels a bit thicker. Other than that, actually, they are so similar. The power button, the volume buttons are on the same side. You have the Xiaomi Smart Assistant button on the left here, which no one is ever going to use anyway. And actually, the notches look really similar. If Xiaomi hadn't changed their mind literally a few days before the launch of the phone, then these two notches would look exactly the same. But Xiaomi have put a software-enabled teardrop notch, whereas Huawei are sticking with that U-drop notch. Settings menus on these phones are actually really similar as well. You can see that I've put the dark modes on both of these phones. I'm really happy that they both support dark modes. They're both OLED screens. If you go into display here, actually both of them, you can change contrasts and colors. On the Huawei, you can actually go from normal up to vivid. The vivid color scheme just really punching out the colors, and then you can change from warm and cold as well. I keep it on vivid and on default. The Xiaomi Mi 9, you can change the color schemes, but in terms of vividness of color, you can change the contrast a little bit, which should have the same effect as the Huawei Vivid or non-vivid. Something that I found with the Huawei, which is gonna help you a lot, is the ability to turn the resolution of the screen down or up, or putting it on automatic. So you can go to screen resolution here and change it to Full HD or HD+, or just keep it on automatic. That's going to save battery life, and it's going to save some processing power as well. So whose design do you prefer? Do you prefer the Xiaomi's or the P30? The P30, I've just got this one in black, and obviously it's not as striking as the blue from Xiaomi. The Huawei P30 Pro has an extra camera. Huawei says that it's a quad camera. They add a 3D sensor on the back there. There's no imaging out of that, so actually you get the same triple camera setup that you do on the Xiaomi, although the P30 Pro does have extra zoom capabilities. Now the fingerprint sensor on both of these really, again, is just so similar. When I've been using them, I would say that probably the Xiaomi is just slightly quicker sometimes than the Huawei. Sometimes the Huawei is quicker than the Xiaomi, but I think on average, the times where the Xiaomi doesn't quite recognize the thumbprint is less than the Huawei's. Finally, eventually able to buy it in mainland China. Launch day today in mainland China after the entire rest of the world, it feels like. But this is the P30 Pro. It's the 8GB version, 128 gigs of storage on this one. Let's get it open. I cannot tell you a difference between these two screens. Now, obviously they are different. The P30 Pro has a curved screen, the Xiaomi doesn't. But in terms of sharpness and color, I could not tell the difference. They are right in front of my eyes, and I just cannot tell them apart. wireless charging, USB-C, notch, small bezels, AMOLED screens. So it may come down to how much you want to spend on a smartphone. In terms of using the phones on a daily basis, they are so similar. But daily usage, gaming, watching some video, these two, you can't tell them apart.